We've seen some other teams decline NIT invitations. Why did you feel like it was important for this group to keep playing?
I know about North Carolina. Who else
Dayton
declined?
did too.
Yeah, I think the majority of college basketball still views. I mean, the NIT is it's a national tournament with a ton of history. It's really well respected. I think it's an honor to be invited. Certainly, it's not your goal, right? Your goal is to be in the NCAA tournament, but the NIT is an honor to be invited to, and you get to keep playing basketball in March. And if we have that opportunity, we're going to embrace it. Finally, I mean, as I told the guys, we met Sunday night. I understand, your mindset is NCAA tournament playing for a championship, which we were down. That was our goal down in Fort Worth. And when that doesn't happen, it's crushing, right? I understand. That's the interesting part about March. I mean, the highs go really high and the lows go really low, and you'll see that over the course of the month. I mean, huge swings of emotion, which would make it so great, but it can be, so heart-wrenching as well. I understand that you go from Saturday playing to be in the NCAA tournament and feeling like it's within your grasp, and then hearing you're being in the NIT. I understand that being like a downer. Like, I get that. But there's something to being a program that doesn't have spring break. Like, you don't want to be a spring break program. And we talked about that with our guys. Like, the last handful of years, this has been a program that you lose in the conference tournament and you get your spring break. And we got to get back to where Cincinnati basketball doesn't even think about spring break. I mean, you know back in October when you start practice that there's going to be a spring break and you're going to still be playing basketball. So one of the things that I think is important is we're taking a step that we ain't no spring break program. And we play basketball during spring break, and that part of it is a step in the right direction.
Memphis kind of used it as a springboard. Xavier kind of used it as a springboard. Is that part of your message to the guys?
Absolutely. There's so many examples of this event and this tournament helping a program grow and move forward, helping players grow and move forward. Hey guys, you still got a chance to win a championship when that's pretty neat. You got a chance to do something that'll go in the rafters. Like, that stuff's pretty neat. So I think we talked about that, and then we gave examples of teams that have played in this event, had success, and then you look at what they've done the next year. One of the best examples was, I said, this is how young our guys are. I said, guys, in 1991, Cincinnati goes to the NIT. I said, you guys know what they did in 1992, and no, they're not even freaking born then. But they played in the Final Four. So don't stick your nose up at it. Let's embrace it, and it's a chance to keep competing and playing basketball. And so I'm excited to keep playing. Is it where I want to be playing deep down? No, I want to be playing in the NCAA tournament like everybody else. But it's still basketball now, and I'm a competitor, and I think our guys will feel the same way by the time the ball goes up.
Does it help having a guy like Ches who played really well in this tournament a couple years ago?
He was the MVP, I believe, a couple years ago. And we did talk about how Memphis goes to a couple NITs, and then now they've been to a couple back-to-back tournaments. And it's important. You can talk about that in front of the team because Landers was a part of that, and so I think he can give some perspective there for sure. And we talked about that as a team.
How impactful do you see the UC fan base being, getting this extra home game? That's obviously, I'm sure, an exciting point for the players.
Yeah, we need them. We need them. And I'd say the same thing to them that we said to the guys Sunday night. Listen, don't think that we wouldn't rather be playing in the NCAA tournament, or that's not what we were focused on all year long, or when we were down in Fort Worth. But we are still playing, and we need the support. We need Fifth Third to rock like it has all year. And I think that'll lift us up. We're playing against, you get to this point, and there's only very few teams still playing. The teams that are in the NIT are really damn good too. Virginia Tech, I think, was on the bubble, maybe in borderline top 25 at a point this year. They're a really good basketball team. They've been right there. So we got a heck of an opponent coming into our building, and we need as much support. We need it to be loud and jumping and get that lower bowl completely packed. So please come out like people have all year, but it'll mean a lot to our players and to our program if they do. You guys know I don't get too into the things you can and can't control, or the things you cannot control. So they said we're playing Wednesday night. We're going to make the most out of the days that we have.
You and Coach Young have a little history. You've played several times. Anything you can tell us about the way he plays, or is it different from what he did at Wofford?
Yeah, 9 years we coached against each other at least twice a year, and a handful of years 3. So for 9 years we battled, and we both texted each other, or he sent a text to us and we texted back and forth when 30 minutes after the brackets came out, and we had battles. And one thing I've told Mike when I ran into him on the road since he's gone to Virginia Tech and I've come here is that a lot of those battles back in the Southern Conference helped our program grow, even the nights that it didn't go well. And it's really helped me improve as a coach, because he is, he's a great coach, guys. You guys will see as you watch their team play. I mean, they run some of the best stuff in all of college basketball. The similarity, the values are very similar. The things they're doing in their half-court offense and their half-court defense are similar in nature, but the players are different, the personnel's different, and so it's not exactly the same because he's, adjusted to who he's coaching.
What's the actual hands-on time benefit? So if you weren't playing, you guys come home, everyone can kind of disperse, but now you get practice, and it's basically the same as just a regular season schedule, right?
Yeah, listen, you guys know this about me. My favorite thing is walking in there to practice every day, a chance to get better, a chance to take a step in the right direction. So having the ability to keep doing that, again, it's not in the event that you worked on, but it's one that's respected. It's a blessing, and it's a chance for us to all keep getting better. It's those guys, like David or Kalu, that are going to want to play basketball after their eligibility's over. It's a chance for them to keep growing and improving and accomplish something. For those guys that have eligibility left, it's a chance to keep improving and growing and becoming better players and preparing for what's next. So, yeah, there's a lot of benefits and positives all the way around.
You mentioned the Virginia Tech and how they're a really good team. They lost their first 7 games within the ACC this season. What makes them so special after they turned it on there, and what makes them a high-powered, dynamic offense?
Yeah, they're one of the top 30, 40 offenses in college basketball. It starts with three-point shooting. Couture, incredible shooter at the two-guard position. They do a ton of stuff to bring him off of all kinds of different action to shoot the ball, and he's not just one-dimensional. He can put it on the ground and kind of make plays for others. And they do a lot of things where they, use him as a screener to free up other guys. And then you just look across their board. I won't go through all their players, but you look across the board, the catch and shooting ability at almost every position is, there's very few programs in college basketball that play the way they play and have the shooting across the board that they have. And again, I don't want to keep talking about all their players because there's so many of them that can shoot it. You got to be aware. And then Mutz would be the other guy that just makes them really unique. He's, I think, averaging over 5 assists a game in ACC play this year as a point forward. I mean, he's like a 6'8", 6'9" guy that's long and athletic, can post, but he brings the ball up the court. They set ball screens for him, and he really, really finds guys. So you can't double him, and he's a kind of a mismatch guy. So you got this very unique player around a bunch of skilled players that can shoot it and make a ton of plays, and that's how you get it. And obviously a great coach that runs good stuff, and you got a top 30 offense on your hands.
I know you're focused on this game, but the portal's open, and there's reports of Cincinnati reaching out to players. So what's the challenge of juggling? Like, you still have games to play, but then this portal opening kind of jump starts the upcoming off season too.
Yeah, y'all know this. This is, just the last 2 or 3 years, COVID, NIL, transfer portal, extra eligibility. This is probably the most volatile cycle in the history of college basketball, of just all the changes and stuff that's going on, social media and the way it's covered. Like, I haven't reached out to anybody. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But it's we're just in this volatile moment, and I think from our program, we're just going to stay steady. Right now we're getting ready for the next game and getting ready for practice. That's why I can't wait to get out of here so I can go get us ready for practice. But we're just going to stay steady and do our jobs and be on top of everything. You know, things will not change for us in recruiting. The number one thing will be to make sure that when this season ends, and I hope we still got some basketball left to play, that we get a really good sense of where our current players are, you know, and how they fit into what we're doing moving forward. Again, I said this publicly, I want them back, but, you know, you want to get past the season meet and make sure that they're in the right frame of mind and that they're coming back. And so then you can kind of look at where your roster is. And then I think the portal is an opportunity to enhance that roster at that point. But it'll always start with our current guys. And then we'll use, you know, this spring and this volatile period to kind of enhance our team. And that'll be the mindset moving forward. And I wouldn't read too much into what you're reading on Twitter. I just wouldn't get into that. I haven't opened Twitter in 5 months, so I couldn't tell you what's on there. Yeah, I'm sure yours are good. Yeah.
Coach, was there ever any hesitancy in any portion of the program of wanting to play in the NIT, or was it kind of diving head first, everybody saying as a team, we'd love to keep competing together?
Yeah, I think guys were just so down Saturday and Sunday because of it ended. They really believed we'd go down there and win the conference tournament. And I never heard any hesitancy about playing. I just felt that we were down in the dumps a little bit because of that. But we met Sunday night and told them Cincinnati basketball's playing in the NIT. We're about to find out who it is. And if there's any issue with that or you don't feel like your heart's in it, come tell me. And we got on the floor yesterday, and everybody's pretty dang good. So I haven't felt any hesitancy, even though I did feel the disappointment on Saturday and Sunday for sure that we weren't in the NCAA tournament.
Can Landers help you at all with anything from Virginia Tech? I knew he played with Couture, and he might know something, but is that old news?
He can help me by playing well. He can help our team by playing well. That'll be the biggest thing.
Anything else? All right. Let's go.
Okay, thanks, guys.